All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Wanted to check in this morning because we are getting new developments overnight from the passing of Garrison Brown at just 25. It does look like it was suicide. We know this because from TMZ, they say that police have released a statement saying there was no foul play suspected, that it does look like it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Overnight, some things have developed. First of all, people are being incredibly respectful, I think. Sister Wives fans, I've heard from so many of you, people that are saying, I don't even follow this show and I'm so impacted. I can't even believe it. And I think the reason for that is they seemed like we could see ourselves in them. They seemed like, even though we know they had a lot of troubles mostly in the marriages Kody did with the wives towards the end here, that the kids really loved each other. They seemed extremely close. Janelle, we know all of them are good moms. So people seem very respectful this morning, wanting to give them space. The family has asked for space. I don't see a lot of sharing of things, which is good, I think. Now, a family member did put up a post saying that Gabe passed away late last night. A lot of people were kind of like questioning or inquiring what that meant. I don't want to speculate aside from we do know that he has passed away. I believe, I'm not sure if that was coming from Peyton Brown's Instagram. But here's what we do know this morning. It wasn't from Peyton, by the way. So it was another Brown child. What we do know is a reliable source for the Sun this is at least according to the Sun. A breaking story overnight is that the family remains devastated. And they are extremely, quote, extremely broken. So a family source apparently overnight talked to the Sun. They said that the family has been left shattered, of course. Garrison was just 25 years old, found in Flagstaff, Arizona, in his home. His younger brother, Gabe, 22, found him. A source close to Janelle, I tend to believe that this is true. The Sun, a lot of these publications will pay family members. I'm not saying that this is necessarily the case, but certainly tabloids have been known to pay or have mutually beneficial relationships with TV stars, reality TV stars. We saw this with 1,000-Pound Sisters, where somebody will feed them information and they are usually getting paid for that information. A source close to Janelle, who is 54 years old, and the Brown family exclusively spoke to the Sun about the star's state of mind. Quote, I've never heard her so angry and numb. She's not processed it clearly, the source said of Janelle. She's definitely not processed this at all. She doesn't even know which end is up. She's very angry right now. She's not a crier or an emotional person, the insider shared. Takes a lot to get her to break. So I think right now she's going to go like, what the heck happened? What did I do wrong? This family is extremely broken and tortured, and it's very painful for many of them, the source continued. Finally, they claimed that Kody's fourth wife, Robin, is the one who is actually the most emotionally upset right now. The exact quote is, Robin is the one who's actually really upset about it. They added that Robin is, quote, really devastated. Janelle and Kody broke their silence following the sudden death. I told you guys about that yesterday on my podcast and social media. And they essentially just said, we're the loss of our beautiful son, Robert Garrison Brown. He was a bright spot in our lives. All who knew him, his loss will leave such a big hole in our lives. And it just takes our breath away. Of course, Kody shared the same photos and messages on his Instagram. I was not aware that Kody Brown even had an Instagram. I did not think he did. So I'm not sure where they're getting that exactly. Sorry, he does have one. Kody Wynn Brown, apparently. So Kody shared the exact same message on his Instagram. And, sorry, I was just checking what else his IG said. So it's Kody Brown that threw me off, and he's not verified for whatever reason. But he is there on Instagram. Flagstaff Police Department continued to investigate this morning. They confirmed the death of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And upon arrival, officers met with a sibling identified as Gabe and discovered Mr. Brown deceased as a result of apparent gunshot wound, as I've said. They said no foul play. Family members, including McKelty now, have shared the news on their platforms, just reshared the joint statement that Janelle and Kody have made. But that is the latest news that a source is revealing, is that clearly the family is devastated, numb, taking it all in. And I think a lot of the fan groups have been really good about just saying, like, let's not speculate. I also feel like a lot of people are saying, let's support everyone in the family, because we know how tragic this is, regardless of, obviously, people have very strong opinions about Kody, Robin, all the people on this cast, without a doubt. The only other thing that people have brought to my attention and are wondering if, because this is public, are kind of wondering if this is worth a discussion, is McKelty recently, in the past week or so, did make an announcement that she and Tony were kind of going through some things and they were going to hit pause on their Patreon. I don't know if that has anything to do with, if, internal family situation that was going on, but that is actually out there on social media. So it's not speculating, it's out there. And she also goes on to say that there's a lot going on in their lives in the family right now. Now, is she referring to her just immediate family unit with Tony? It certainly seems that way. She's kind of indicating maybe she and Tony are having some problems. But people did tag me in this.
Stuff has happened with Tony and I, and some of our close people.
Close people.
We actually take a little bit of a break from Patreon. Tonight we are not going to go live and watch episodes for season 1 episode before.
It's probably going to be very hard to hear that on this recording. So it's from News Celebrity Us, if you want to go and look at their, just look and follow along. They do a lot of breaking celebrity news, and especially stuff around the Brown family. Yeah, again, like I said, I've received so many messages from you, the kindness, the support, and so many people, unfortunately, that have been in this same situation. And like I said yesterday, check on your loved ones, check on these young people, because just that early teenage years up until you're in your 20s, especially, lots of times it's hard for people to see the forest through the trees, to see that if they wait a few days, it gets better. It was Lady Gaga's campaign, it gets better, that one day at a time. And in those dark moments, if you can just see the light. So again, I'll continue to keep it. I know, I'm doing a podcast. I know. We'll have a passy in a little bit. So I know. I'll give you a passy in a second.
Let's go see if we can find a passy. Come on.
Checking in, guys. I'm in Maine, being a full-time parent too. But I'm haunted by this. Like, I know a lot of you are. I can't get it out of my head. I've fallen in love with this family. I started watching episode 1, went back, and I feel like I know these children. I know everybody. And there's something about them that just seems so relatable and approachable in a way that is different than what we see with celebrities. And all right, we are hearing, people are just, he shines so bright. My heart breaks for Janelle and the entire family. Please pray for them. I'm so sick about this. This is heartbreaking. These are just many of the comments on my social media. Horrible, heartbreaking. Oh no, may he rest in peace. I can't believe this. I'm just so sorry. I'm praying for the family. Janelle will never forgive. Well, I'm not going to read any of the negative ones, but it just says also, may his memory be a blessing. I'm so sad to hear this. She's going to take this so hard, as any mother would. And unfortunately, many of you listening to this have been touched by suicide as well. And that is nothing that any of us would ever wish on anyone. I just wanted to see if there was any other updates I could give you guys this morning as we share more of the actual information. But again, people have come out of the woodwork. Stars. A lot of people online, as I mentioned, who are just honoring him, and this story touching people worldwide who love this show. People also asked me, even though I addressed this yesterday on the podcast, why we haven't heard from Christine. I do not believe that Christine's Instagram is really run by her anymore. I think it's more of just a marketing tool. And I say that because she's posted about her MLM, her Plexus tea and things, and she just has these generated automated responses. So I don't think she's very live with it. But again, just check on our loved ones, as you know, keep these babies close to us, and keep saying prayers for them. And as we get new information, I will update you guys here on the Sarah Fraser Show podcast, also on TikTok at the Sarah Fraser Show. But this is definitely going to change the entire TLC family. I've heard from other TLC stars. No one can believe it. Okay, more to come. Bye, guys. Be safe.